Let me tell you how one February morning in Cedar Falls, Iowa, my entire life seemed to get bulldozed, literally. Step outside with a steaming mug of coffee, just hoping to get a quiet start to the day. And there it is, my Honda Accord mangled and crushed right in the driveway. The snowplow that did it gone without a trace, like a ghost with a vendetta. The night before had been one of those Midwestern blizzards that makes you second-guess every decision that led you north of Kansas. I'm Ryan Thompson. Meadowbrook Estates had been my home for 3 years. It looked like a slice of the American dream when I bought in neat lawns, cookie-cutter mailboxes, everything just so. What the realtor never mentioned was that the HOA here was run by Patricia Hendress, a woman who wielded community rules like medieval weaponry. Every trash can, every weed, every Christmas light. If it wasn't regulation, you'd hear about it. But this day, Patricia wasn't the problem, not directly. This was something bigger. I'm staring at my poor Accord, just paid it off 6 months ago, and the side is caved in, mirror dangling, deep scratches running the length of the car. In the snow around it, fat tire tracks, unmistakable, made by something a lot larger than a sedan. A plow. Instinct said, call the police, but the last time I tried that, they couldn't be bothered about a stolen lawnmower. So why would they care about a car hit and run? Instead, I start snapping pictures. Every angle, every detail, the snow still crisp except for where those tires carved through. Sun's barely peeking through the clouds, casting those long blue shadows across the yard. One of those mornings where the cold seems to bite harder, just to remind you it's still winter. Across the street, Marcus Chen calls out guys in his bathrobe and boots waving me over. Ryan. My security cam got the whole thing last night. You gotta see this. Marcus, bless him, treats home surveillance like an Olympic event. Inside, he cues up the footage, and there it is. Meadowbrook Estates' own HOA Plow truck barreling down the street at 2:17 a.m. Plow down, not a care in the world. Then bam, straight into my car, metal on metal. The crunch echoes through the speakers. Truck never slows. Doesn't even hesitate. Marcus zooms in on the license plate, HOA 773, Iowa commercial plate, he mutters, already copying the file to a USB. You'll want this for insurance and probably the cops. That's hit and run. He's right. I thank him and promise to return the favor, and Marcus just shakes his head. Just get these HOA folks out of everyone's hair. I got fined for leaving my Christmas lights up an extra day. Enough is enough. Insurance company tells me I need a police report. 45 minutes later, Officer Amanda Rodriguez pulls up and she's all business. Snaps her own photos, measures tire tracks, takes down my story. When I show her the video, her face hardens. That's pretty clear cut, she says. If we can, ID the driver. We're looking at criminal charges. I tell her the truck belongs to the HOA, probably Derek Marsh driving Patricia's nephew, if that gives you any hint about how this place works. Dispatch confirms the truck's registered to the HOA. Rodriguez says she'll need to talk to Derek, tells me not to confront the HOA myself, just in case Patricia tries something. Part of me wants to believe me. But Patricia's the type who turns every complaint against you in the next board meeting. The next couple days blur by, car gets towed, rental arranged, insurance calls, paperwork. The body shop's estimate comes in at just over $8,000. $8,000, because someone couldn't be bothered to look up from their phone while plowing. Officer Rodriguez calls 2 days later. She'd talked to Derek. He admits to driving the truck but denies ever hitting my car. Claims the video is inconclusive, says the damage must have already been there. I almost drop my phone laughing. If that footage isn't clear, then my name's not Ryan. Rodriguez says they're pressing charges anyway, enough evidence for hit and run, and it'll go to court. Not even a full day later, a letter from the HOA lands in my mailbox. Patricia herself informing me my car was parked in the driveway overnight, a violation, and here's a $200 fine for the trouble. The violation date the very night my car got hit. The audacity is almost impressive. I snap a photo and send it to Marcus, who texts back, "You've got to be kidding." Officer Rodriguez is sympathetic but says it's technically not illegal. Don't pay it, but expect them to escalate, she says. And escalate they did. More letters come in garbage cans, visible for 2 hours after pickup. They weren't weeds in the yard, it's February. The yard is snow each with a fine attached. It's retaliation, pure and simple. I start saving every letter, documenting everything, even pulling smart home logs to show my garbage cans were brought in on time. Turns out I'm not alone. Sarah Williams, 3 houses down, stops me one morning. They're hitting us too. Patricia's targeting anyone who complains. She tells me about a group of neighbors trying to call a special meeting to oust Patricia. They need signatures. I say, hand me the clipboard. Word spreads fast. Mrs. Simmons, retired teacher, signed. Mr. Patterson, a veteran, signed. Everyone's got a horror story. In a week, we've got way more than needed. Sarah files the petition. Patricia responds with a letter to the whole neighborhood accusing me of trying to undermine property values. The special meeting is scheduled and suddenly everyone cares about HOA politics. That Thursday night, the community center is packed. Patricia and the board are up front looking like the royal family at a firing squad. Sarah lays out the evidence, my car, the fines, the retaliation. Patricia interrupts, tries to derail everything, but the crowd turns on her. When it's my turn, I play Marcus's video. It's dead silent. Then the room erupts. The vote isn't even close. Patricia's out along with most of her board. Linda Monroe, the vice president, steps in as interim president. People actually cheer. Things move quick after that. The city's investigation, spurred by Derek's hit and run, finds all kinds of violations. The HOA has to hire a real management company. Patricia gets desperate, but nobody's listening anymore. Then the real twist, embezzlement. Turns out Patricia and Derek had been funneling HOA money for years. Both end up arrested and charged. At trial, neighbors line up to testify. The verdict is guilty on all counts. Patricia's sentenced to 5 years, Derek to 2. Restitution orders come down. Her house goes up for sale. And somehow through all this, the neighborhood comes together. Block parties, barbecues, holiday lights, people finally talking to each other again. The new HOA voids all the old fines, rewrites the rules for fairness and transparency. The board actually asks what people want. And for once, nobody's scared of opening their mailbox. The biggest lesson isn't just about fighting back or documenting everything, though those matter. The truth is, power reveals character. Put someone in charge and you see what they're really made of. It took one disaster, one hit and run to expose the rot. But it only got better because people stood up, refused to let the bullies win. Now my Honda's parked in the same driveway, fixed, shining, and safe. The new boards made sure the plows are driven by pros. No more backroom deals, no more fines for fake violations. The streets are safe, the neighborhood's thriving. There's no drama, just people living their lives, watching out for each other. But sometimes I wonder how many other places are still living under the thumb of a Patricia. Where's the line between community and control? What's it take to tip the scales back toward justice? Maybe you've had a fight like this. Maybe you're in one now. Let's hear your story. Where do you draw the line between order and overreach? Ever seen justice finally show up? Even if it took a while. Drop a comment below. Tell us about the time you stood up or about the time you wish you had. Because one thing's for sure, when people speak up, even the toughest problems can get fixed. Sometimes all it takes is refusing to back down even when the world feels like it's buried under a blizzard.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video. Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.